the Bahamian population, mostly for Bimini population.
All I know, he was going third. That's my godchild. I wish him all the best.
To the powers of God, Bimini always been a spot. He always had athletes in Bimini. Thank God, VJ made it to the NBA.
The night ended in celebration as residents took to their vehicles and golf carts, parading through the streets in honor of VJ's historic achievement, marking a moment of pride Bimini won't forget.
Well, there you have it, a long motorcade. People parading through the streets, them cheering him on, them taking in. Go ahead.
I was going to say, even though it wasn't mentioned in the story, they talked about VJ's mom. The fact that he grew up on generator for 7 years. And how his mom just worked hard. It wasn't just only him, but she had other children, of course, that she worked really hard for to make sure that they succeed in everything that they put their hands to. So kudos to her. I know one of her moms. So.
Yeah, one of her many quotes last night was, you know, we really didn't come from anything, but now we are something, and that is surely a big deal. So kudos to the entire village. When we come back, of course, we have two special guests, the coaches of VJ Edgecombe. They were with him from he was young. They played an integral role in where he is today, and they are also beaming with pride. They will join us right after this break. Stay with us.
Live and direct, this one is called Come Go With Me. Back to Bimini, y'all. Listen to watch it, do it. When it's on you, live and direct, this one is called. Live and direct, this one is called.
I'm Blanc, and you're watching Bimini Through the Gateway on ZNS.
Live from Resorts World, you're watching Bimini Through the Gateway.
Just 50 miles off the coast of Florida lies a destination unlike any other. Welcome to Resorts World Bimini in the Bahamas, where vibrant culture means endless adventure. Relax on pristine beaches, savor Caribbean flavors, and sun-filled hotel stays. Whether it's a tranquil escape, night at the casino, or a weekend full of thrills, Bimini feels like a world away, but closer than you ever imagined. Your journey begins here, Resorts World Bimini.
In the Bahamas, there once lay an unassuming island, scarred, forgotten, left behind by industry. A place that had given so much, but had been abandoned in return. It took a family whose legacy is deeply intertwined with the sea to see its potential. They saw not just an island, but possibilities. To replace abandonment and desolation with life and beauty. The transformation of Ocean Key was a collective effort, bringing together skilled workers, artisans, builders, and conservationists, combining passionate visionaries with Bahamian expertise, ensuring that Ocean Key was not just a paradise, but a source of opportunity.
Welcome to Freeport, the reawakened, the reimagined, the rebirth, the Renaissance capital of the Bahamas. Over $1.5 billion in investment. Marinas, cruise ports, downtown revitalization, residential developments. We're putting the city on the map. Want to know more? Just log on. Your future is only a click away.
Ready for a day of adventure? Come down to the home of the boatyard, where the sea meets the party. Cruise the coast on our scenic boat tours from 9 a.m. till sunset. Dive into thrilling water sports, or just kick back at our waterfront bar with a cocktail in hand anytime after 4 p.m. And if
if you're on the water and your boat's not cooperating, don't worry. EJ's Outboard Mechanics is here to get you back on track. Open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We're the reliable experts you can trust when your boat needs a little TLC. Good times, good service, and good people. All right here at the home of the boatyard.
The boatyard is the perfect place.
Live from Resorts World, you're watching Bimini through the gateway.
Live and direct, this is what it's called. Come go with me. Back to Bimini.
Player in the NBA right now. This is what draft night's all about. Look at his mom, Bendra, the moment that she hears her son's name called, the work that she has put in, that he has put in, and now the family is with Harmonica McNutt.
Super excited. We came from nothing. We came from nothing, man. We're truly blessed just to be in this position, man. I know the emotions is high right now, so I'm just let it be right now, all right? But the emotions super high, but we came from nothing. So this is why the emotions are so high right now, man.
I'm actually lost for words right now. My brother saw this dream before I did or before anyone else in my family even did. I'm so proud of him. He got me in tears and I don't even cry.
Man, I don't know. I don't got no words either, man. I'm blessed. Me third pick. I mean, it's a dream come true, man. I spent countless years just sitting there watching draft, bro. So I don't even know. I don't know what to do, man.
You good, Mom? How proud are you of your son?
Proud. Super proud. Like you said, we came from nothing into everything. It's Bimini to the world.
To the world.
That's my godson, too.
That's your godson?
No, VJ.
Well, 1 second. Let's talk a little bit about this piece. My guest right now is Buick Regal Roll. He is one of the coaches of VJ Edgecombe. He joins us live now. Another proud moment for Bimini. But when we take a look at that piece with his mom, who said, you know, we came from nothing, now we came into something. Bimini to the world. That's all we heard last night as we attended the watch parties. Everyone screaming and cheering Bimini to the world.
Yeah.
Just someone who was instrumental in where VJ is now. What was that moment like for you watching him last night?
Well, as a coach, that was a very proud moment for me. Because me and VJ know one another in a personal way. But sometimes when we go on the trips, VJ normally stay in my room. So that was a very proud moment for me because I know when you stand in a place of humility, God always exalts you.
Wow.
And I know during the basketball season, during the fall basketball season, we coached VJ. VJ was always disciplined, VJ was always respectful, and VJ was always humble. So I expect nothing else where he is today.
Take us back to him growing up. You've known him from you said from birth, really?
Yeah,
What type of child was he?
Always the same. Always respectful, always humble, but loved basketball.
Some people throughout the community say you would always see him walking around with this ball in his hand.
Yes. Yes, they are actually correct. Love basketball. Love basketball. And he shows true worth ethic. So I'm not surprised where VJ is today.
No.
I'm not surprised.
Take us through, because I know that you've been with him through many tournaments, but at which point did you realize or you recognize that, hey, this kid has some serious talent that we have to hone?
Well, Abaco had a tournament in 2018. They had a tournament in 2018, and we lost Doris Johnson. You know, we lost another high school team, and when we lost the team, VJ cried. Me and Gilbert had to comfort him. Literally cried because he didn't want it to lose, because he thought we was going to win the championship.
Wow. Passion.
Yeah, very passionate.
You see this, you realize that there is something special. What was some of the training that you did along with Pastor Gilbert Rule?
Well, some of the training we do, we actually have a hill in the back of our school, and we call it Golgotha's Hill. We know Jesus got crucified on Golgotha's Hill, so you know the things what happened on that hill. So we call the hill Golgotha's Hill, and the hill is full with base sand, and you have to run up the hill. You have to do slides on the hill. You have to jump up the hill off your 2 foot. And that's some of the training we carried VJ through.
And clearly that helped him to be what
Yes.
he is in terms of his skill set
Yes.
today.
Yes.
How do you marry the two?
How do I marry the two?
Yeah.
His skills and his workout?
Yeah.
Well, one of the things is, part of basketball, what a lot of people is mental. And for VJ age, he had it upstairs. He had it inside of his head. Because a lot of kids talented, but they don't have it upstairs in their head. So VJ had it upstairs in his head. He had it mentally. And once you get it mentally, you'll get it physically.
At some point, VJ now leaves Bimini.
Yes.
And he has to go off to school.
Yes.
What was the expectation of how well he was going to do there?
What was the expectation? Well, the only concern I really had about VJ was the pandemic. Because that's why he left. That's what the only concern. Because throughout the stages of VJ life, he never changed. And that was the most important part of his life. And between me and Gilbert Roll Jr., we always instill God on the inside of him. We always would let him know that you have to put God first in everything you do. Because he's your life, he gifted you with all of these things. And VJ kept that up to this date.
Pastor Gilbert Roll Jr., as well as a whole contingent, traveled to New York to be a part of the celebrations.
Yes.
We did speak with him before he left, and he gave us his sentiments on VJ being drafted to the NBA. Let's take a look at what he had to say.
VJ is a testament, after COVID, he sprung up. You just never know. Now we're about to have an NBA player right from this small island of Bimini, sat right in our classrooms, played right on the community courts. And it's a message to everyone that you prepare, you do the right things, you put God first, you practice, you prepare, and then you never know when opportunity comes knocking at your door. I believe that this is the beginning of something great, not just for Bimini, but for the Bahamas. All of the children aspiring to dream bigger than just their community or just their island. VJ Edgecombe is a testament that if you do things the right way and you keep at your craft, no matter what difficulties, COVID couldn't stop him. This was destined for him.
Basically, he echoed the same sentiments that you said just a few minutes ago. The most important thing, putting God first. That is something that you drilled in his head.
In all of our players. Actually, on an 8-month schedule on the basketball season, we travel into either Abaco and Andres. From Abaco and Andres, we travel into Orlando to play in the Christmas tournament. From the Christmas tournament, we rest and we go into Hugh Campbell. From Hugh Campbell, we go into either the Nationals or whatever they have in the Freeport, and then we come back to our tournament. So that is actually the basketball schedule. But what we do, at every 8 o'clock in the morning, well, I would be the hatchet man for GJ, for Gilbert. I would go into these guys' rooms, and I would tell them, get up, it's time for prayer and devotion.
Wow.
And if I meet you sleeping when I come back, I come in back with a bottle of water. So I would meet all the guys up. So that's one of the things we really instilled in all of our players, not just VJ. Because when you come at Gateway Christian Academy, when you come there, we run a real program. We don't just teach youths and young boys how to play basketball, but we teach them about life, how to put God first, how to be respectful in the community, how to respect your elders, how to go through life. So that's what the program is all about.
What was it like when you heard that he was going to be drafted as one of at least the top picks for this 2025 NBA draft?
Well, as I watch him progress inside the United States, and I see he took his game to a next level. Like I said earlier, he have it upstairs here, and once you have it upstairs here, that's just about it. Because most of basketball is mental.
Well, Buick, we also spoke with his mom shortly after he was drafted to the Philadelphia 76ers. And let's take a look at what she had to say. Just a moment of excitement and gratitude for where they've come. Let's take a look. such a proud moment for Bimini. To wrap this segment up, I would like to say, firstly, she talked about the village, all of the village being involved in VJ Edgecombe's outcome. But what do you say to that little kid who is watching VJ, who has come from Bimini, who wants to pursue their dream? What do you say to them?
What do I say to them? Pursue your dreams. Pursue your goal. No matter how the situation may be, you could come out. You could come out no matter the struggle, no matter what's taking place in your life, you could come out. And we all see where VJ came from. And that's why we carry the slogan. That's why we, first of all, we give God all the honor and all the glory and praise. And first of all, VJ know our slogan, in Jesus' name we play. And the last statement we put on this, from Bimini to the world, in Jesus' name we play.
Absolutely amazing. A great way to end this segment. Thank you so much for being a part of our show and for playing that vital role in a young man's life who just had a basketball and a dream. Now we see where he's made it, and so many more we're expecting to come from Bimini. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Stay with us. When we come back, we speak to an historian on the island of Bimini, also a Cacique winner. We take you back, and you have to see this is a special segment. Stay with us. Through the Gateway is back right after this.
I had to take you, me to Illusion, me to Inagua, me to Long Island.
Just 50 miles off the coast of Florida lies a destination unlike any other. Welcome to Resorts World Bimini in the Bahamas, where vibrant culture meets endless adventure. Relax on pristine beaches, savor Caribbean flavors, and sun-filled hotel stays. Whether it's a tranquil escape, night at the casino, or a weekend full of thrills, Bimini feels like a world away, but closer than you ever imagined. Your journey begins here, Resorts World Bimini.
In the heart of the Bahamas, there once lay an unassuming island, scarred, forgotten, left behind by industry. A place that had given so much, but had been abandoned in return. It took a family whose legacy is deeply intertwined with the sea to see its potential. They saw not just an island, but possibilities. To replace abandonment and desolation with life and beauty. The transformation of Ocean Key was a collective effort, bringing together skilled workers, artisans, builders, and conservationists, combining passionate visionaries with Bahamian expertise, ensuring that Ocean Key was not just a paradise, but a source of opportunity.
Bimini, swing by Coconut Bryant on Radio Beach, serving ice-cold coconut water straight from the shell. Island fresh gully wash and drinks that will make your taste buds dance. Whether you're beach hopping or just soaking in the sun, refresh your vibe. Only at Coconut Bryant. Coconut Bryant takes style.
A new era is dawning in Grand Bahama. An opportunity, it's knocking louder than ever. Introducing Tract B, Bahama Reef Yacht and Country Club, Unit 1. A prime corner commercial property, footsteps from the Port Lacaya Marketplace, crystal clear waters and white sandy beaches. This expansive 4.8-acre tract is zoned for commercial and multi-use development. Envision a thriving restaurant, a boutique hotel, or an entertainment hub unique to your vision come to life. You can live, work, play, and learn in paradise when you seize this rare opportunity today. Collaborate with DEFCO and let's shape the future of Grand Bahama Island together.
Live from Resorts World, you're watching Bimini through the Gateway.
Live and direct, this one is called Come Go With Me. Back to Bimini, y'all.
Welcome back to Through the Gateway. We are coming to you live from Resorts World Bimini. Today we explore more about the history of this great northern island through the eyes of a Bimini historian, Sir Ashley Saunders, a writer, former educator, and the owner of the prestigious owner of Dolphin House Museum. Thank you so much for being with us today.
It's nice to be here.
We have so much to cover in this little segment, but I want to first talk about your book, The History of Bimini, which covers the people, prehistoric era, notable characters such as the Ernest Hemingway, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., among many others. Take us back to the importance of chronicling your island and through your eyes.
Well, over the years, you know, so many great events have happened in Bimini, and of course, so many great people, both local and foreign, who has touched the lives of the people of Bimini and contributed to the history. It's such a rich history over the years. I thought I would try to document it so that it would be preserved in book form and, become a part of the educational curriculum, too, in the school. I've been a school teacher here for many years, and when I came back from university, we didn't have any books in the school to teach from, so I thought we could also use the book in the school system so that the students can learn about the island history written by someone local and right from their island. So that was one of the reasons I've been documenting the history of Bimini before. It all fade away and we lose it.
Let's talk about you growing up on the island of Bimini. What was so unique about this island back then?
Well, it was pretty much Bimini is pretty much a laid-back island. It was, slow-paced. It was, you could call it a fishing village back then when I grew up. Not much activity, 1 or 2 hotels, and not much to do. Little more calypso music. It was more the culture going on there. The lifestyle of the people was much more evident. The fishing and bone fishing and big game fishing was at its peak. There was Adam Clayton Powell and then Dr. Martin Luther King, and a lot of activity going on, and a lot of talk about Ernest Hemingway, and just a lot of fishing activity in general.
What do you think, as an historian, drew these notable persons to the island of Bimini, persons like Ernest Hemingway and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.?
Well, I think the fact, too, that Bimini is a place that has a rich history and very, you could say, people that very friendly people, and it was a place too where you could come to fish and you could come to relax, and people go about your business without people really crowding you or getting in your way. So it's kind of laid back and you do your own thing, really.
I want to take it back to your book. What were some of the highlights for someone reading that book that you would want them to really connect with so that they see the island of Bimini through your eyes?
Well, I would say the rum running era, and then of course the early settlers, how the people came to Bimini and why did they come there. The events that happened there, the very eras like the sponging era, then we had the rum running, we've had the big game fishing, and then we had also the history of the churches, the history of the hurricanes, and just how the people echoed existence on that very small island, because the island ain't much wider than a football field, 7 miles long. And how do people survive on a small little island like that in the middle of nowhere, really?
What is amazing, as an educator, you had the opportunity, even as an historian, as a writer, to really take all of your knowledge and instill it in the younger persons throughout the schools. How important was that for you to even do, to ensure that history is not just preserved through a book, but in the minds of the young Biminites?
Yeah, you know, when I went to school in Bimini, we didn't really have books at all. And then, of course, we were still a British colony. And so I never had the opportunity to get a Bahamian education in terms of Bahamian local history. So I thought that it would be good to document the history of Bimini so that my students especially could learn about their island from someone local, someone right from the Bimini itself.
And someone who lived it.
Who lived and experienced
part of it, yeah.
And then, of course, not only the history, but also the literature, the poetry, the short stories that I touch on, too. You know, I wrote many, many poems that never been written before in Bimini. I'm the first published author, and also the first published poet. I've written four volumes of poetry. I wrote also 3 volumes of history. And so, you know, I've been documenting this history of Bimini for the last 20 plus years. And so that's very important that now, not only Bimini has a history, but it has a tangible, a tangible history that you could touch on, that many islands today in the Bahamas cannot say that. They have a history, all right, but they don't have a history in book form. So that's what's important too. And of course, by writing the history of Bimini, it gave me the exposure internationally, and also in the Bahamas, where I won the Cacique Award here because of my documentation of the history of Bimini and also the poetry. So I'm one of the first Biminites to win the Cacique Award.
That was
which is a very prestigious award.
And amazing.
One of the highlights of my career.
Wow.
Yeah. So
to be recognized in such a way.
Yeah, such a way. That's one of the greatest awards in the Bahamas that you could receive, the Cacique Award.
Yes, sir.
So, when I won that Cacique Award, I mean, it was so amazing that when I came back to Bimini with the Cacique Award, the school that I was teaching at the Bimini All-Age School, they paraded me through Bimini streets, up and down, with all the students behind me. So that was one of the highlights of my life, really.
That's absolutely amazing. You've also been knighted. You are, sir.
I've been knighted too. In 2022, I received the Distinguished Service Medal from Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. And that function was held right here at the Resort World. And the dignitaries, the Prime Minister, the Governor General, and all the police band, they all came here and took part in that celebration. What a wonderful celebration that was.
Another highlight.
Another highlight of my life.
That's awesome. Well, something that you're passionate about that we have to talk about is the Dolphin House Museum. This is a unique attraction created by you, designed by you, and built by you.
That's right.
It is described as a testament to environmental conservation and for the love of the sea.
Right.
It's filled with history and culture, and people from all over the world flock to the Dolphin House right here in Bimini. Talk a little bit about that.
The Dolphin House came about in the early 1990s when I went swimming with a pod of wild dolphins. I didn't go swimming with them expecting any miracle, but a miracle did happen. The otters and me apparently were sleeping, and the dolphins woke up the otters in me. And I was so grateful for the inspiration. I thought I could give the dolphins something back. So I thought about building them a monument. And I didn't have the finance to really build a monument for the wild dolphins of Bimini. So I thought I'd recycle and do the work myself. And that's how that came about. And
we're looking at some video. Describe to me what this would be now on the walls.
You can see I was the first Bahamian, first Biminite, as I know of, that received the Cacique Award. First Biminite received the Cacique Award. Then, of course, Seaton Company Limited. That was the Raleigh boys who paraded me through Freeport.
Wow.
In 2006 for my outstanding service to the country of the Bahamas. There you see inside the Dolphin House Museum on the 3rd floor, you see the pictures on the wall there. That's the Bahamian section. I have a British section. I have an American section. And
this would be the art section?
This is the art section right there.
Nice.
Right in that little cabinet right there is the medal from Her Majesty the Queen. Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Why do you think people flock to the Dolphin House? What is so unique about the experience?
Well, it's handmade. It's been built by me practically. 99% of the building is built by me. It's built with a shovel. No machine has really touched the building. And it's built mostly from imagination and dreams. There's hardly any blueprint. And it's built on biblical principles, first of all, which is amazing because I look in the Holy Bible since there's really no blueprint, but I look to see what Jesus Christ might have to say about how to build a building. And according to Jesus in Matthew chapter 24, verse 7, Jesus says that a wise man built his house upon a rock, and the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock.
Wow.
And then I also look, that was the New Testament. And then I also look at the Old Testament. I look on the Proverbs and look to see what King Solomon might have said. And according to King Solomon, a wise man built his house upon a rock, and the rain. By wisdom a house is built, according to King Solomon. And by understanding it is established, and by knowledge the rooms are filled with all precious and pleasant riches. They're the two voices I use to build the Dolphin House. So it's built really on biblical principles.
Wow, that's amazing. I think Ansel Saunders would be your
brother.
That's right. We have a special piece. Our Jolanda Thompson Everest is standing by live with Denver. I think he's a steward. He's a tour operator here on the island of Bimini. Right. And he took her out to where Ansel Saunders, your brother, would have taken Martin Luther King Jr. Before. So let's stand by and Jolanda, what can you tell us?
Sheena, this tour gave me a whole new perspective on Bimini and what it means to the Bahamas. My tour guide, Denver, took me on a journey through the island's hidden gem. I'm talking about the peaceful mangroves to Dr. Martin Luther King's statue, where I believe he said that that's where he wrote one of his inspirational speeches. Take a look.
So Martin Luther King, was a visitor here. He was, an important person in our community. Ansel Saunders is responsible for the world record bonefish. It was like about 16 pounds he caught on those flats. What Ansel passed down to us that Martin Luther King said Bimini was a magical, a mystical, and a spiritual place. And he did take the creek area, for example, very serious. On his last visit was the visit where he asked Ansel to stop the boat at the location where his memorial was built by Ansel Saunders. And he meditated in that same location for about 30 minutes. And he started to write, the first sentence in his speech, the speech he gave right before he was assassinated.
A long life, longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now.
The speech called I've Been to the Mountain Top. And Martin Luther King also went to the Healing Hole with Ansel Saunders. They always tell us you have to believe that you could be healed. So that was like one of the main reasons after that information got out, you know, before Martin Luther King and also after Martin Luther King, we have so much visitors come to Bimini just to, you know, spend some time in that area.
Denver's passion and knowledge for his island is definitely unmatched and inspiring, and it's a tour that I will certainly never forget. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Yolanda, for that wonderful piece. And it really all comes back full circle in that piece. You saw we had a picture of your brother, Ansel Saunders. Yeah. He was one of the tour guides for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Right. And when you saw Denver, you said Denver is one of your former students.
Former student, yeah, that's right.
He's also very passionate about the island of Bimini.
He sure is. And he's a good diver, too. He's a good fisherman. And he's very knowledgeable with the Bimini, especially the mangrove swamps.
You mentioned earlier that Dr. Martin Luther King was actually a great friend to your family.
Great friend of the family. In fact, my brother used to take him into the swamps to meditate. And my other brother, Thomas, used to go and get the conch fritters and the breakfast for Dr. King.
Wow.
Dr. King liked conch fritters, and he drank a lot of ginger ale, and my brother used to go and fetch that for him. And of course, you know, he also ate at my aunt's restaurant, Dr. King. Wow. He had a small restaurant down at in Allenstown, Bimini, called the Blue Marlin, and Dr. King would go in there for lunch. So, you know, he's touched base with a lot of my family members.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And one of the things that I remember from Dr. King, when he visited the school that I was going to as a schoolboy, Dr. King came and talked to the student body. And one of the things that Dr. King told us was that if you could make a mousetrap better than anyone else, the world will cut a path to your door. And I never forget that particular sentence, because that carried right through my life, you know. And I think the Dolphin House, in fact, could the Dolphin House very well be the mousetrap that Dr. King talked about?
Wow.
Because if you could make a mousetrap better than anyone else, the world will cut a path to your door. And that's what's been happening at the Dolphin House. It's a building that more than 75 countries have been to visit it.
Really?
That's right, more than 75 countries. And on the wall of the Dolphin House on the 3rd floor, I've asked the visitor, what country are you from? And can you write in your language, welcome to the Dolphin House? So on the walls of the Dolphin House, there's more than 75 languages.
Oh, wow.
All saying the same thing, welcome to the Dolphin House.
What is the draw? What do you think keeps people coming back?
Well, the architecture and the fact that it's built out of recycled material. There's hardly anything there from the Home Depot, for instance, or hardware shop, because it's beach glass, seashells, broken dishes, cup, mug, jug, bed, bottle, domino, chip, sea, buoys, clay marble, coins, and then, of course, the natural resources of this beautiful island of the Bahamas. We have conch shells, coral rock, and also limestone rock and seashells. And it's a place that no one's ever seen before, and you'll never see a Dolphin House other than what you see in Bimini, because no other place in the world has it. It's a one of a kind.
I saw on the video just now a CD that said poems by Sir Ashley Saunders. So you have your poems recorded as well.
I wrote one about Bimini too. I wish I could recite to you right now.
Can you, please?
If you want to.
Yes.
Let me say it. Bimini. Crystal clear blue ocean meets the sky. Seabirds flying ever so high. White sand sparkling in the sun. Children laughing, having fun. Fishing in boats coming in. Another day at sea is done. Beautiful people saying hi, smiling happily as they go by. Fishing and diving, walking the beach. Calypso music and dancing within your reach. Great times, quiet times, peaceful nights. Many interesting and wonderful sights. Lovers walking quietly. The beautiful island of Bimini.
Oh, that is amazing, and it encapsulates so much about Bimini. We heard about the children walking, the fishing, the hospitality, the diving, just everything about Bimini. I have one more question before I let you go.
Okay.
The Healing Hole. For persons who do not know, that is also one of those historic sites that many people from around the world come and they travel to. Give us some more insight about that.
Well, the Healing Hole is in the middle of a swamp. It's a hole that is big as a bedroom, let's say. It's very deep, and it's cold water. It's a cold water spring, probably coming up from some mountainous area in the world. I don't know where. But what is ice water doing in Bimini? I mean, in a little hole in the middle of a swamp. It has lithium in it and sulfur, and you could smell it pretty much before you get to it. If you go in there, it's very buoyant. It kind of like keeps you up, floating up pretty high than normal. And if you stay in there long enough, like in let's say 10, 15 minutes to take the dose, it really does something to your body. And it's a very popular spring here that many people go to.
And they've claimed that they've been healed.
They've been healed.
From what?
So
What
not
have you
only
heard?
not only physically,
right,
but psychologically,
Wow.
it does something to you. If you stay in there long enough to take the dose, that is, because it's very cold water. But you gotta psych yourself up. You shouldn't rush in there or jump in like you do with the normal water or you do at the beach. But you stick your foot in there a little bit until your body gets adjusted to the temperature rather than just jumping in there. Because otherwise your body might get shocked because you go through two different extremes of temperature.
So it's that cold?
It's that cold.
Oh,
And
wow.
you might need a blanket when you come out there too, because your teeth will probably be rattling.
Wow.
It's very cold.
Well, we want to say thank you so much for taking the time and spending it with us. This meant so much to me, and I thank you for coming on short notice. But also I want to say a special thank you to Gina, who arranged this, your niece. And when she started to tell me and share your story, she said, we have to speak to you, and I'm so glad that we did.
And speaking of Gina, I want to thank Gina. You know, Gina is my grandnephew, and I want to thank Gina and her husband, Ellie, and Elnet in Freeport, the maritime company in Freeport, who has been a big supporter of me and my wake, and also the people of Bimini for, you know, all the work all the effort they've done to get the visitors to the Dolphin House, and the resort world, and everyone, all the hoteliers, all the golf cart rentals, the taxi drivers, and everyone else who've been so supportive of the Dolphin House and getting people to come there and take a visit. So I appreciate that very much, and my heart goes to them for all they've contributed.
Wow.
And putting Dolphin on the map.
And thank you for putting Bimini on the map.
Well, my pleasure.
And when we come back, we have our question of the day. That's a round-trip ticket to Bimini, courtesy of Western Air. So stay with us. We have that for you, as well as a special shark dive that our Jolanda Thompson Everest took part in. Don't go anywhere. Through the Gateway is back right after this.
And anything you want, that's why I have to sing me to Ilusha, me to Inaga. Oh, yeah, been there.
Just 50 miles off the coast of Florida lies a destination unlike any other. Welcome to Resorts World Bimini in the Bahamas, where vibrant culture means endless adventure. Relax on pristine beaches, savor Caribbean flavors, and sun-filled hotel stays. Whether it's a tranquil escape, night at the casino, or a weekend full of thrills, Bimini feels like a world away, but closer than you ever imagined. Your journey begins here, Resorts World Bimini.
In the heart of the Bahamas, there once lay an unassuming island, scarred, forgotten, left behind by industry. A place that had given so much, but had been abandoned in return. It took a family whose legacy is deeply intertwined with the sea to see its potential. They saw not just an island, but possibilities to replace abandonment and desolation with life and beauty. The transformation of Ocean Key was a collective effort, bringing together skilled workers, artisans, builders, and conservationists, combining passionate visionaries with Bahamian expertise, ensuring that Ocean Key was not just a paradise, but a source of opportunity.
Bimini, swing by Coconut Bryant on Radio Beach, serving ice-cold coconut water straight from the shell. Island fresh gully wash and drinks that'll make your taste buds dance. Whether you're beach hopping or just soaking in the sun, refresh your vibe. Only at Coconut Bryant. Coconut Bryant takes style.
A new era is dawning in Grand Bahama. An opportunity, it's knocking louder than ever. Introducing Tract B, Bahama Reef Yacht and Country Club, Unit 1. A prime corner commercial property, footsteps from the Port Lacaya Marketplace, crystal clear waters and white sandy beaches. This expansive 4.8-acre tract is zoned for commercial and multi-use development. Envision a thriving restaurant, a boutique hotel, or an entertainment hub unique to your vision come to life. You can live, work, play, and learn in paradise when you seize this rare opportunity today. Collaborate with DEFCO and let's shape the future of Grand Bahama Island together.
Live from Resorts World, you're watching Bimini through the gateway.
Live and direct, this one is called Come Go With Me. Back to Bimini.
Just take a look at that yacht. Hopefully we are able to go on that sometime today. Good afternoon and welcome back to Through the Gateway. Joining me now are two persons who help to make this hotel work, this resort work, and they do it effortlessly. Jeremy Johnson, the Director of Rooms, as well as Ambrose Cartwright, the Front Office Supervisor. Thank you both so much for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to start, first of all, let me start with you, Ambrose, because you are responsible for the front office. And I always say, from you enter those doors, you feel loved, you feel welcomed. You guys do such an amazing job. What do you do to keep and ensure that your staff, from the front to the back, maintain this happy hotel?
Well, first of all, I have to give it to our staff. They are some of the best here at Resorts World Bimini. Without them, you wouldn't be able to feel that sort of welcoming anywhere else. I have to give that to them. We mostly focus on making sure that our check-ins are straightforward for the day. We make sure that everyone is briefed at the beginning of the day so they know what's the rundown. To ensure that when you guys come in, you get that bright smile and get to your rooms as soon as possible.
Now, Jeremy, you once held that position, and clearly you did an amazing job because, you know, what speaks to our legacy is when we're no longer in a position, but it still maintains that certain standard. Do you miss it at all?
A whole lot.
You miss it?
A whole lot. So, you know, I mean, from time to time, I'm able to go and assist, but of course, the team, Rose, they would say, hey, Mr. Johnson, stay up this desk. We got it. So, you know, there's no need for you to be here. But of course, from time to time, I would go and assist, but usually do such a good job at managing and, you know, holding the operation down where I'm actually really not needed there. So I'm able to focus my attention on other areas that I'm now responsible for. So that's basically in a nutshell. So the front office are all Ambrose and of course Regina that usually handles it and hold it down. They were, of course, they came up underneath me.
Right.
Right. Obviously, I did a good job.
You did an amazing job because
with mentoring them. But
yeah, that level of professionalism is still maintained. What I also love about Resorts World is sometimes as Bahamians, when we travel to other islands, because we are Bahamians, we don't get the same treatment as tourists. But at Resorts World Bimini, the standard is the same, whether you are a local, whether you are coming in domestically, or you are a visitor from another country. Everyone is treated with a certain level of professionalism. Talk about that.
We try to make sure that all guests, no matter what, whether they're local, whether they're international, we try to make sure that we uphold the standard that we're known for, to make sure that all guests feel welcomed, you know,
We're not trying to differentiate between Bahamians or internationals.
It happens.
It does happen. I must agree it does happen. But over here, we try to make sure it doesn't happen as much as possible.
Now, the front desk is not the easiest position to hold down because you deal with people from all over the world with different levels of expectation. How do you handle those persons coming here who present a little more of a challenge? What do you say to your team?
You know, I always tell the team it's you want to try and make each situation as less stressful as possible. So if we have a difficult guest and they cannot handle that, then we always say give us a call and we'll step in and take lead on that. But most of the time our team is trained and they are very well prepared in terms of handling these difficult guests. So we're not really called like that, but when we are, we definitely take that foot forward to assist as best as possible.
And Jeremy is laughing, but Jeremy, you are now the director of rooms.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how good Ambrose and his team greets people when they enter the doors. If those rooms are not right, then you have a problem. What does it take in your role as now the director of rooms?
So what it takes in my role is that, you know, I came from front office. I'm now overseeing housekeeping, so the process is much easier now. Of course, we have been able to bridge that gap. Of course, in any hotel industry, at least where I came from, housekeeping and front office, they were all one, but they never really got along. They always bickered with each other, fight.
Why?
Because out of the rooms ain't ready. But coming from front office, now overseeing housekeeping, it makes the transition and the process much smoother because we now know that, hey, listen, guys, if those rooms ain't ready, the front desk will call me, or the front desk will call housekeeping. So we're able to bridge that gap in terms like making sure the rooms are checked out in a timely manner, making sure our assignments are right, making sure we have enough staff on duty to get in these rooms to clean them, to make sure we turn them over. But in terms of the laundry, I oversee that also. So I need to make sure that the laundry sends the linens to the hotel in time. So it's more like a process flow. So because of that front office foundation I have, I'm now able to bridge the gap even with the laundry, making sure they turn linens in time, making sure housekeeping has the supplies and the staff to go ahead and turn the room. So it makes it so much easier. You know, it makes that check-in process so much easier for the team and for everyone. So that's a good thing with me overseeing those different departments.
Well, I want to thank both of you so much for being our guest today. Today's our last day, unfortunately, broadcasting here from Resorts World. It's going to be difficult to pack those bags and leave. I spoke with Peter Adderley. He's a Grand Bahamian who said he came for one visit to Bimini and ended up staying for 2 years. And I said, Peter, I definitely understand how that is possible. Thank you guys so much for being with us today. All right, Yolanda Thompson Everest. All week she's been taking you on several adventures. This one is in the middle of the ocean with sharks. Yolanda, give us a recap of what that was like.
Sheena, this particular adventure pushed me out of my comfort zone, but I am so glad I did it. For the first time, I got the chance to swim with sharks, and thanks to my amazing tour guides, Robin and Genesis, I felt so comfortable and surprisingly relaxed. I have with me Genesis from Neil Watson Bimini Scuba Center, who's going to tell us about the fun activities that they offer and why she loves swimming with sharks.
So at Neil Watson Bimini Scuba Center, we offer a variety of trips ranging from wild dolphin safaris, stingray trips, hammerhead safaris during the winter, and then, of course, our most famous Sapuna and Sharks trip.
Now, Genesis, you took me on the Sapuna shipwreck and then also swimming with the sharks. Tell me, how was that?
Well, for me, it's an everyday thing. But of course, for each guest, the experience is different. Some we get are really comfortable, some are a bit scared to get in the water.
Awesome. Take a look.
And just you liking the water known as a big head start.
Guys, I want to welcome you to your first side of the day. This side is called the SS Safuno, right? One of 3 sister ships built in preparation for World War I. Made completely out of concrete and rebar due to the steel shortage during that time. guys, want to welcome you to your second and final site of the day. This site is called Triangle Rocks, all right? If you look right there, and way out there, those three rocks form a bit of a triangle, hence the name, all right? So this is where we swim with our Caribbean reef sharks, all right? We're going to be swimming with these big, beautiful ladies. They grow to be up to about 6 to 9 feet long. These ones mainly ranging in the 6 to 7.5 size area.
You know what I forget to mention? Kobe, our cameraman, did not go swimming with the sharks. Kobe, on our next trip, this one on you. Sheena, back to you.
Thank you so much, Yolanda. It looked like fun. I really actually wanted to do it as well, but unfortunately, I've not built up the courage to do it just yet. Now we turn to our question of the day. If you were paying attention, then this one should be rather easy. Our question of the day is coming up on your screen. Take a look. You can go to any one of our social media pages. Once you answer this question, you get a gift certificate courtesy of Western Air. And this gift certificate entitles the holder to receive one complimentary Western Air round-trip ticket to any Western Air domestic destination. The question is, who gifted Martin Luther King Jr. a conch shell during his visit to Bimini? If you were watching the show today, this one should be really, really easy. A complimentary Western Air round-trip ticket to any Western Air domestic destination. We want to thank Western Air for partnering with us to present this gift certificate. I know the answer, so if you don't, I may be flying somewhere, maybe Exuma or Long Island, if they go there. We're going to give you just a minute to answer, but this is our last day broadcasting here from Resorts World Bimini. Before we go over to Ocean Key, Jolanda, it has been just an amazing experience here.
The hotel is so beautiful. The people, of course, they're so inviting, and they make sure that we're comfortable here. We have everything that we need, so it's definitely an experience. I do not want to go back to ZMS anymore. Can I stay?
No. Why? I would like to stay. I was telling someone that we got a message that said, y'all okay, y'all are having so much fun. I said, but we are also working a lot as well. We do have an answer for you, and we do have a winner. The winner of the round-trip ticket to any Western Air domestic destination is Keisha Levat, I think it is. Keisha, you are our winner. One of our staff members will be contacting you. And the answer was Ansel Saunders. If you watched today, that should have been pretty easy. Well, today is our last day broadcasting here at Resorts World Bimini. We want to thank you all so much for tuning in. We want to thank Resorts World Bimini as well for being such an amazing host, from the general manager straight down to everyone, all of the international persons who are also involved in helping us pull off this show. We leave you with this video of our week here in Bimini. Tomorrow we're in Ocean Key. That's a beautiful show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow. This segment is all about Latitude 25 at Cocoa Plums. It's a new beach house, right? What that is over there? You eat? Yeah. Oh, you are the best. I mean, geez, they should hire you, Ine. Boy, it's hot. We have another gas or no? Thank you, Jesus.
stood out to me the most was a lighthouse. I mean, we're talking about...
Oh, man, and that was so good, Landa. That was so good.
Ate at there. I think it was like this cantina that they had with the buffet style. And so the food was really good. I had a burger and fries. Burger was nice. The bread was nice and crispy. Burger was nice. Burger was nice. Burger was nice. Burger was nice. The bread was nice and crispy.
Okay, hey, start over. Put gun on what you want.
Thank God it is.
Sydney Poitier Bridge. I'm Kaylin Green. This is ZNS.
From a distance, the world probably seems like a big, bad, scary place. If you listen to the news, or even ask the person next to you, they will likely talk about war,